The sun was low over the wide land when Tom rode his horse along the dirt road near his ranch. He had spent the whole day working with fences and animals, and his body felt tired in a familiar way. Tom liked this kind of tiredness because it meant the day had been honest and quiet. He had lived alone for many years and believed that silence kept his thoughts clear. Nothing ever surprised him on this road, and that was exactly how he liked it. As he moved closer to the old wooden fence near the crossing, he noticed a figure standing still. At first he thought it was a traveler resting, but then he saw two smaller shapes beside her. Tom slowed his horse and felt a strange pull in his chest that he could not explain. The woman looked thin and worn, as if life had taken more from her than she could afford. The children stood close to her, holding on to her clothes as if the wind itself could take her away. Tom stopped a few steps away and got down from his horse. He did not speak right away because he did not want to scare them. The woman looked up at him, and her eyes showed fear mixed with hope. She told him her name was Anna, and her voice shook as she spoke. She said she had been waiting there for someone who might help. Tom listened quietly as Anna explained that she had no place left to go. She said the road behind her had only brought pain and closed doors. Her hands trembled as she pulled the children closer to her sides. She told him the boy was Ben and the girl was Lily. Both children stayed silent, watching Tom with serious eyes far older than their years. Anna took a deep breath and said words Tom never expected to hear. She asked him to take her children and keep them safe. The request hit him harder than any storm he had faced on the land. Tom felt his thoughts scatter as he looked from Anna to the children. He had helped many people before, but nothing had prepared him for this moment. Ben stood straight and tried to look brave even though his hands shook. Lily hid half her face against her mother and would not let go. Tom noticed the dust on their shoes and the hunger in their eyes. He could tell they had been walking for a long time. The road had clearly not been kind to them. Tom finally asked Anna why she trusted him with something so precious. Anna said people in town spoke of him as a fair man who kept his word. She said she had watched him from a distance and saw how he treated others. Her voice broke when she said she had run out of choices. She believed leaving her children with him was the only way they might have a future. The wind moved through the grass as Tom stood there in silence. He felt the weight of her request press down on him. He had never planned for a family or imagined children in his home. His life had always been simple and carefully balanced. One wrong step now could change everything he knew. Tom looked at Ben and Lily again and saw more than fear. He saw trust forming even before he had answered. That scared him more than the responsibility itself. He knew that once trust was given, it could not be taken lightly. The land around them felt unusually quiet, as if waiting for his decision. Tom told Anna the truth in a calm voice. He said he did not know how to raise children and had never been a father. He said his home was small and his life was hard. Anna nodded slowly, as if she had already accepted those answers. She said she was not asking for comfort, but for safety. Anna explained that she planned to leave town to find work. She said the road ahead was no place for children. Her eyes filled with tears as she spoke about wanting them to live without fear. She promised she would return one day when she was able. Until then, she begged Tom to protect them. Tom felt something shift inside him as he listened. He realized Anna was not trying to escape responsibility. She was trying to give her children a chance to grow. That understanding made his chest tighten. He knew turning away would haunt him forever. Without saying yes or no, Tom led them toward his ranch. The walk was slow, and the children stayed close to him. Ben asked small questions about the animals and the land. Lily stayed quiet but watched everything with careful eyes. Anna followed behind, unsure but hopeful. When they reached the ranch, the sky was painted with orange light. Tom showed them the house, which was simple and worn but strong. The children stepped inside carefully as if entering a new world. Ben touched the wooden table with wonder. Lily sat near the door and listened to the sounds of the house. Tom prepared a simple meal and shared it with them. The children ate slowly, as if unsure the food was real. Anna watched them with a mix of relief and pain. She thanked Tom more times than he could count. He only nodded, unsure how to respond. That night, as the stars filled the sky, Tom lay awake. He listened to the quiet breathing of the children from the other room. His home no longer felt the same. It felt heavier but also warmer. He knew his life was already changing. Before sleep finally took him, Tom understood one thing clearly. The woman by the road had not asked him for a favor. She had placed her trust in him. And whatever answer he gave next would shape all their lives. Tom woke before sunrise as he always did, but the morning felt different. The house was no longer silent in the way he was used to. He could hear soft movement from the other room and small whispered voices. For a moment he lay still and wondered if the day before had been a dream. Then he heard Lily cough lightly, and reality settled in his chest. He got up quietly and stepped outside to breathe in the cool air. The land looked the same as always, wide and steady, yet his thoughts were restless. Tom had carried responsibility before, but this felt heavier than any work he knew. He reminded himself that the children were safe, and that mattered most. That thought gave him enough strength to go back inside. Anna was already awake and sitting at the table. She looked tired but calmer than the day before. She thanked Tom again and said she would leave after breakfast. Her words hit him harder than he expected. The idea of her leaving made the house feel suddenly smaller. Ben and Lily came into the room rubbing their eyes. Tom greeted them softly and offered simple food. They ate quietly, glancing at Anna often. Lily asked if her mother was coming with them outside later. Anna paused before answering and said she had to go on a journey. The children did not fully understand her words. Ben asked when she would come back. Anna said soon, even though she could not promise that. Tom watched the moment closely and felt a knot form inside him. He knew this goodbye would shape the children more than they realized. After breakfast, Anna packed her small bag. She knelt in front of the children and held their faces gently. She told them they were brave and strong and deeply loved. Her voice shook, but she did not cry in front of them. She asked them to listen to Tom and trust him. When Anna stood, she turned to Tom with wet eyes. She told him she knew this was too much to ask. Tom answered that he would do his best. Those words felt small for something so large. Still, they were the most honest words he had. Anna walked down the road as the children watched from the porch. Lily tried to run after her, but Tom gently stopped her. Ben stood still and said nothing, staring until Anna was gone from sight. The air felt heavy once she disappeared. The house felt too quiet and too loud at the same time. Tom brought the children inside and told them they were safe. He said they would stay together for now. Ben asked what they should call him. Tom said his name was fine. Lily nodded and held his hand tightly. The rest of the day moved slowly. Tom showed Ben the animals and explained simple chores. Ben listened carefully and tried to help. Lily followed close behind Tom, watching everything he did. She smiled for the first time when a small animal brushed past her feet. As the sun moved higher, Tom realized how much he had to learn. He adjusted his work to stay close to the house. He spoke more than he usually did. The children responded with curiosity and small laughs. The ranch began to feel less empty. That afternoon, Ben asked if they would have to leave soon. Tom told him no. He said they could stay as long as needed. The words surprised even him. But once spoken, they felt right. When evening came, Tom cooked again. This time the children ate faster. Lily told him the food was good. Tom smiled without thinking. It had been a long time since someone had said that to him. As night settled, Tom made beds for the children. He told them a simple story about the land and the stars. Ben listened closely while Lily slowly fell asleep. Tom felt awkward but steady as he spoke. He realized the children were listening not just to words but to his tone. Later, when the house was quiet, Tom sat alone at the table. He looked at the chair where Anna had sat that morning. He wondered if she was safe and if she would keep her promise to return. He also wondered how he would handle the days ahead. The questions felt endless. Before sleep, Tom checked on the children once more. Ben was asleep with his hands folded tightly. Lily had rolled toward the wall, clutching the blanket. Tom pulled the blanket up gently. In that moment, he understood he could not turn back. The next days followed a new rhythm. Mornings were filled with questions and small tasks. Ben learned quickly and took pride in helping. Lily stayed near Tom but began to explore more each day. The ranch slowly filled with life. Tom noticed changes in himself too. He planned his days around the children. He worried about weather and food more carefully. He spoke to the animals as if explaining things aloud. Responsibility no longer felt like a burden alone. One evening, Ben asked if Tom would ever send them away. The question caught Tom off guard. He knelt and looked Ben in the eyes. He said he would not abandon them. Those words settled deep inside both of them. That night, as the stars spread across the sky, Tom stood outside. He realized that Anna had trusted him with her greatest treasure. He felt fear but also purpose. The choice he made by letting them stay had already changed him. And he knew this was only the beginning. The weeks passed slowly, but each day brought small changes to the ranch. Tom woke earlier than before, not because of habit but because the children stirred with the sunrise. Ben liked to watch the sky change colors, and Lily liked to sit quietly near the window. Their presence filled the house with movement and sound. The silence Tom once loved was replaced by something warmer. Tom began teaching Ben how to care for the animals in simple steps. He showed him how to feed them and how to move calmly around them. Ben listened carefully and tried hard to do everything right. When he made mistakes, Tom corrected him gently. Ben's confidence grew with every passing day. Lily stayed close to Tom most of the time. She followed him from room to room and watched his hands while he worked. Sometimes she asked small questions, and sometimes she said nothing at all. Tom learned to understand her quiet moods. He realized she felt safest when she knew where he was. The town slowly noticed the change in Tom. People saw him riding with the children beside him. They heard laughter where there had once been only silence. Some greeted him more warmly than before. Tom nodded back, still quiet but no longer distant. One afternoon, Ben asked about his mother again. Tom paused before answering. He said she was working hard to build a better path. He said she loved them very much. Ben accepted the answer, though his eyes showed longing. Lily asked if her mother remembered the color of her dress. Tom said he was sure she did. Lily smiled softly and seemed comforted. Tom understood then that hope mattered as much as truth. He carried that lesson with him. As days turned into weeks, Tom adjusted his work schedule. He stayed closer to the house and shortened his trips. He wanted the children to feel secure. At night, he checked the doors and windows carefully. Responsibility shaped his choices now. One evening, a storm rolled in unexpectedly. The wind grew strong and the sky darkened quickly. Lily became frightened by the sound. Tom sat beside her and spoke calmly. Ben held her hand until the storm passed. After that night, the children trusted Tom more deeply. They began to sleep without fear. They laughed more freely during the day. The ranch felt like a place of safety. Tom felt pride mixed with quiet concern. A letter arrived one morning carried by a passing rider. Tom recognized Anna's name written on the front. His hands trembled slightly as he opened it. She wrote about finding work and a small room. She thanked Tom again for caring for the children. Tom read the letter slowly that evening. He shared it with Ben and Lily. Ben smiled and asked when she would visit. Tom said he did not know but hoped it would be soon. Lily held the paper carefully as if it were fragile. The letter changed something inside Tom. He realized the arrangement was no longer temporary in his heart. He had begun to think of the children as his own. The idea scared him but also gave him purpose. He knew love had grown quietly between them. As summer approached, the ranch became livelier. Ben helped with daily tasks and asked thoughtful questions. Lily began to explore the land more freely. She picked flowers and left them on the table. Tom smiled every time he saw them. One day, Ben fell and scraped his knee. Tom cleaned the wound carefully and spoke reassuring words. Ben tried to be brave and did not cry. Tom praised his courage but told him it was okay to feel pain. That moment strengthened their bond. At night, Tom told stories by the fire. They were simple stories about the land and the stars. Ben listened closely and imagined adventures. Lily leaned against Tom and felt safe. The firelight reflected in their eyes. Tom noticed how much he had changed. He no longer thought only of himself. He planned for the children's future. He wondered what kind of people they would become. These thoughts filled him with both fear and hope. The town offered quiet support. Neighbors dropped off supplies without asking. Some offered help with school arrangements. Tom accepted the help humbly. He knew he did not have to face this alone. One evening, Ben asked a difficult question. He asked if Tom would ever leave them. The question caught Tom by surprise. He knelt and looked Ben in the eyes. He said he would not abandon them. Those words carried weight. They settled deeply into the children's hearts. Lily hugged Tom tightly afterward. Ben nodded as if something important had been confirmed. Trust was sealed in that moment. As the stars filled the sky, Tom stood outside alone. He thought about the road where he first met Anna. He realized that one moment had reshaped his life. He felt gratitude mixed with humility. He knew he had found a new purpose. The ranch was no longer just land and work. It was home in a way Tom had never known. The children brought life and meaning to every day. Tom felt ready to face whatever came next. And he understood that the hardest choices often lead to the deepest bonds. The season slowly changed, and the air around the ranch felt calmer and stronger. Tom moved through his days with steady purpose and quiet confidence. Ben and Lily had grown used to the rhythm of ranch life. They woke with the sun and slept peacefully at night. The place that once felt empty now felt complete. One morning, Tom noticed Ben standing taller than before. The boy spoke with more confidence and smiled more often. He took pride in his small responsibilities. Lily had also changed in her own gentle way. She laughed more and no longer watched the road with fear. Tom realized the children no longer felt like guests. They belonged to the ranch as much as the land itself. Their footsteps echoed naturally through the house. Their voices filled the air with warmth. Tom felt grateful for that every single day. As time passed, Tom began thinking about the future more seriously. He spoke to people in town about schooling and supplies. The townsfolk supported him without judgment. They respected the way he cared for the children. Tom learned that accepting help was not weakness. One quiet afternoon, a familiar figure appeared at the end of the road. Tom saw her first and felt his heart tighten. Anna stood there, thinner but steadier than before. She looked toward the ranch with nervous hope. Tom knew this moment would change everything again. Ben noticed her next and froze in place. Lily followed his gaze and gasped softly. Both children ran forward without hesitation. Anna dropped her bag and knelt to hold them. Tears flowed freely as they held each other. Tom watched from a distance and gave them space. He saw relief and love written clearly on Anna's face. The children clung to her as if afraid she might disappear again. Anna whispered words of comfort and reassurance. The reunion was filled with quiet emotion. Later, they all sat together at the table. Anna thanked Tom with deep sincerity. She said she could see how well the children had grown. She said they looked happy and safe. Tom nodded and said they were a part of his life now. Anna spoke honestly about her situation. She said she had steady work but limited space. She admitted she could not offer the life the children now had. Her voice trembled as she spoke the truth. She said she did not want to break what had been built. The room grew quiet as everyone understood the meaning of her words. Ben looked between Anna and Tom with concern. Lily reached for both their hands. Tom felt the weight of the moment settle deeply. He knew the decision had to be made with care. Tom spoke slowly and clearly. He said the children would always have a place with him. He said Anna would never be pushed out of their lives. He believed love did not need to be taken away to be shared. Anna listened with gratitude and relief. The children felt the tension ease. Ben smiled with quiet understanding. Lily leaned against Tom and held Anna's hand. The choice felt right to everyone involved. The future no longer felt uncertain. Anna stayed for several days. She helped with meals and shared stories with the children. She watched how Tom cared for them with patience. Her trust in him grew even stronger. She knew she had made the right decision. When it was time for Anna to leave again, the goodbye was different. There was no fear this time. There was only understanding and love. The children hugged her tightly but did not cry. They knew she would return. After she left, Tom stood watching the road once more. This time his heart felt steady. He no longer feared being alone. The children stood beside him with calm confidence. They were a family in every way that mattered. As the days continued, Tom guided Ben and Lily with care. He taught them honesty and patience. He showed them the value of hard work and kindness. They learned by watching his actions. The ranch became a place of growth and learning. One evening, as the sun set behind the hills, Ben spoke softly. He thanked Tom for staying. The words caught Tom by surprise. He placed a hand on Ben's shoulder and nodded. He felt emotion rise quietly inside him. Lily added that she felt safe every day. Her words were simple but powerful. Tom understood that safety was the greatest gift he could give. He promised himself he would never take that lightly. The promise settled deep within him. That night, Tom stood under the stars once again. He reflected on the moment that had changed his life. A single request on a dusty road had shaped his future. He felt humbled by the responsibility he had accepted. He also felt deeply fulfilled. The cowboy who once lived only for his work had found something greater. He had found purpose in care and connection. The children had found stability and love. Anna had found peace knowing they were safe. Their lives were forever changed by one brave choice. In the end, it was not land or work that defined Tom. It was the answer he gave when it mattered most. By opening his heart, he created a home. A home built not from wood alone but from trust and love. And that home would stand strong for many years to come.